Make way, make way! You're in the cathedral, being carried on a stretcher. You have blearily woken up, but everything seems dreamlike. Clerics of the House of Sun hurry out of the way. Their concern for you seems genuine.
Oh
You
wow,
try to sit up, huh?
genuine. I killed back in the same Twimsy.
Yeah, I don't think anyone knows that though. You left no witnesses.
I guess.
Um, you try to sit up a little, but pain shoots through your whole body. You mean to scream, but it comes out as a little grunt. He's awake, someone says distantly. Shh, just rest. We'll take care of you. You're an honorary saint today. Make way, make way.
I'm an honorary saint.
This is chapter 8, by the way.
Yeah, it is.
You wake up on a soft bed in a small room lit by candlelight. A small vase of yellow thorny flowers, gorse perhaps, livens up your bedstand. Next to the vase is a well-worn book of Abraxas. A painting of a green field on a summer day decorates the wall across from you. The window to your left reveals it is night. The pain has subsided to a low thrum, but unlike your previous attacks of rot, it is not going away. Sam is seated to your bedside wearing a white robe with a large golden sun embroidered in the front. Welcome back, Sam says. We thought we lost you there for a little while.
If I'm gonna die, I want to do it at home. Or, to be honest, I don't really think I can develop a cure. So what church?
That'd probably be you'd probably have to be really good at Vivimancy or Glamour to do that, wouldn't you?
Probably.
Sam forces a smile. The church always tries to help those in need. Why should you be any different?
It was that business the last time I visited the church.
Sam sighs. Yes, of course. I shouldn't really have tried to pretend your case is the same. Actually, the Hierophant has taken an interest in you.
Why?
You ask. I couldn't say. You make the mistake of trying to sit up, and your belly objects with a sharp stab of pain. Your vision starts to go, and you begin to black out. You fall back onto the bed and wait for the roaring in your ears to subside. Listen, Sam says, his voice distant. I can bring people here if you want to say hello, but if you have no desire to talk to someone, we can keep them out. Just let me know. Sam purses his lips as if uncertain whether to say more. Just don't push yourself, all right? Don't feel like you have to meet with everybody, especially if you're going to be stressed. Especially if it's going to be stressful. Are you like instantly became terminally ill?
Oh, I think this is it. I think I'm on my deathbed. I saved the kingdom, but I am dead. Yeah, let's start with my parents. Like them, I like my parents.
Yeah. Sam nods. Of course, I see how close you were with them when I visited Ackerton. Probably your wife.
Probably. I feel like that's a good one.
You request her towel. Of course, Sam says. I think she's on a mission for the Queen, but I'll tell her no right away when she gets back.
Could you make sure Blessed Jacob doesn't come? Wait, Sam, come closer. What is it? Tell Blessed Jacob he's a bitch.
That's understandable, Sam says. I'll have a word with him. He mostly does as he pleases, but I think he listens to me more than most, even if you wouldn't think it from what you saw of us.
I love that. I'm just like, yeah, just tell him to fuck off. I don't want to see him.
All right, you can ask for Koss, you can ask for Theklar, you can tell the Hierophant to fuck off.
I mean, Thekla probably saw me getting wheeled off. I think she knows.
Yeah. This is probably your last interaction with people, though, isn't it?
Probably.
Well, I wonder, will more people coming stress you out more have adverse effects?
Probably. I'm gonna just keep it to my wife and family.
Okay. All right, Sam says. He squeezes your hand. Now get some rest, would you? I'll be in now and again to check on you. Sam begins to leave, then stops himself. Oh, and at the stage of rot, you may begin to have hallucinations. Get a second opinion before you do anything rash, all right?
When have I ever done anything rash in my life?
Sam gives you a dubious look. Right. Sam leaves, and you close your eyes and rest.
When in my life have I done to... Wait, this is an option? Sorry, I just saw these two and I'm like, oh man, I'm fucked. And then I saw I had a third option.
I told you how mine ended, right?
Yeah.
Now you see now. After that, you are left alone for a bit. You search your bedroom and find that someone has stowed your things in a trunk under the bed. You decide to experiment with ways to avoid your fate, though you don't feel very good. You may as well try now. You'll only be weaker later.
Yeah,
so, if you had a lot of negation, you could turn yourself into an immortal specter. If you had your alchemy set and potion ingredients, you could develop a cure with.
I just
your
don't have the
alchemy set.
ingredients, which is a shame.
I wonder where you would get them.
I don't know. But
You turn
You know
yourself to a
what?
giant beast.
It's an
Hey,
option.
what if this is Stormageddon's purpose?
Look, I'm gonna die. Might as well give it a go.
Yeah. You realize that if you transform yourself into a very large creature, the rot will spread thinly enough that it will no longer threaten your life. But your Vivimancy has only dealt with small creatures in the past and not much larger than humans, and you realize you have no experience with this kind of Vivimancy on a large scale. Perhaps if you'd asked the Queen to develop a research program for a large creature.
Shut the fuck up, game. I get it. Don't tell me
But
on my
that's-
deathbed about my fuck ups.
No, that's neither here nor there now. Just kicking you while you're literally down.
I am literally on my deathbed. Shut up. Alright, time to
Oh,
just
man.
die.
You sink back into your bed and close your eyes. Perhaps it's time to accept your fate. Everybody's mortal. You just didn't think you'd have to face your own mortality so soon.
Does it tell me my age? It did in the last game, but I don't think it does it in this one.
Yeah, I don't think it does in this game. Hey, on the death thing, does it say just thousands of people? Yeah, unfortunate. I just wanted to say like 90% of the Asia population.
Alright, well, time to die.
For the rest of that first night, you receive no other visitors. A gnawing sensation seems to eat away at your belly. You take a look around your room and find that your things, including your alchemy set, are stashed within the drawers of the nearby nightstand. You recall a recipe for pain medication and ring the handbell on the nightstand to summon Sam and ask him to fetch the necessary ingredients. As you wait for him to take your mind off the pain, you turn to the only book you have with you, the Book of Abraxas, on your nightstand. Which section would you like to read?
Nothing. Let's start with healing miracles. I have ancient history.
You flip to a section that you think might contain clues about healing rot. You are the reader.
To you who are afflicted by rot, I say, did not the first rot come from your soul the moment you sought to impose your will on others? For goodness, shut the fuck up. For goodness is a light that needs no magic to make itself felt, but if you should be on death's door wishing for another chance at life, I say, so long as you are not dead, you can do good, and that will make you more alive than you've ever been. Many do not ever truly live, but if you can heed my words, you have time. Shut the fuck up.
I love the fact that it's just like, this is what you get. But don't the Saints do tons of glamour?
They sure do. Trimsby is doing it all the time.
Yeah. Is that why what's her name like looked like a gaunt skeleton when you saw her last?
Maybe.
You frown. Not helpful, Abraxas.
Shut the fuck up.
You quickly grow tired of the lofty language of the Book of Abraxas. Luckily, Sam saves you by returning with your alchemical ingredients. You brew the necessary potion, and it quiets your stomach and dulls your senses enough to put you in a contented state.
I don't like having to narrate my death in the coming pages.
You move the book aside, collapse on the bed, and quickly fall asleep. Some days pass in which you wait for your visitors from the Ackerton refugee camp to arrive. Sam often keeps you company, bringing you porridge from the cathedral's kitchens. You appreciate his company, though whenever he leaves, a feeling of gloom settles upon you. All right, here we go. You are awakened by an impossibly loud voice inside your head. Awaken, fishy! I call on you.
Do you have like an angelic like fucking voice mod?
Don't have voice mod on right now.
Oh.
Hold on. We're gonna cast stall.
I'm dying. I'm dying in the game.
Well, here's a question. Here's a question for you. If it does end with you dying of rot cancer, was it worth saving people?
Yeah.
Was it worth saving the capital?
Let's be honest, Parker. The alternative was they shoot me with big negation guns and I die. So
Yeah,
dying of cancer a little later and making sure my family lives is probably a better outcome to dying instantly with everyone.
Yeah, I can see that.
Look, I either die a hero or I die sooner and not a hero.
Since you're literally on your deathbed, how's the playthrough gone so far? Is there anything you would have done differently?
A lot of things. Yes, boy. Where do I start? You know what? I know where I start.
I'm saying other than the things that were obviously just wrong choices.
Other than the things that were obvious, I would have probably tried to lean a little actually heavier into my automation.
Yeah.
Because divination, while it's cool and really handy, it didn't.
It's not
like
a war.
Honestly, it's like the same thing that I had with Ava in our campaign. Is like knowledge is really handy. It doesn't fix your problems. It just presents a possible path.
Yeah.
Having a tool that can fix your problems is usually better.
Which, is thematic for what's happening. For everything in this. It doesn't, it won't, the knowledge stat won't win you wars alone, that's for sure.
I should have just done more automation.
Yeah. Alright. I have to turn so much stuff off
Imagine
and
if
on.
I named myself Air. And then died.
God, then you would probably have to choose an heir.
On my deathbed. Alright, so
You're
this is
married. I would just go to Tal.
Yeah, it's like, this is really unorthodox. I know I'm currently the queen and you're the heir. Who do you want to be the king? I know you never got to be.
Alright, are we ready?
Mhm.
You are awakened by an impossibly loud voice inside your head.
Awaken, fishy! I call on you!
You
God.
bolt upright. Did it work?
Yeah, it did.
You bolt upright. Strangely, your pain is entirely gone. In fact, you feel infused with a new power. Out the window, you see the dark of night.
Who are you?
You think.
Praxis?
Name me not. I am this.
Wait, before you continue,
You know-
it's really funny because when you turn the echo back on, it continues from what you last echoed.
I need to let it play out a little bit more, I guess. So,
This.
Yeah, there you go.
all right.
It's really funny.
In a vision, you see the eternal plan of the world laid out before you. All its carefully laid threads and destinies intertwine. Your thread glows stronger than the rest, and from this point forward in time, it is brightly phosphorescent.
I call on you to be my next prophet. If you have faith, you will remake this world, but you must have faith.
Basically, do I question him or do I just... I kind of want to know. Why me? I'm not even a saint.
Hold on.
I chose you because you can have faith. If you can have faith, then so can anyone. The greater the reversal, the greater the message.
What exactly would you have me do?
Does that affect better than the other one?
Kinda.
No. You ask the voice.
Your first test is to get out of your bed and walk. Have this faith, and you shall see that you are healed.
Experimentally, you sit up. You indeed feel no pain, just a sheer rush of exultation.
Walk out of your room.
Barefoot and wearing the simple white tunic the church provided you, you walk out of your room and into the adjacent corridor. There, you run into Sam, who is carrying a tray with a bowl of oatmeal. He looks very concerned to see you out here. Fishy, what are you doing out here? He frets. You need to be back in bed. You can't be walking around like this.
Sam prays to me daily but lacks true conviction. He is your next test of faith.
Yeah, I got
This
some
is
charisma. Hey, I'm doing fine. Just let the walk past.
This is such a decision.
Hey,
There's such a
you know
thing
what?
going on.
I was on my deathbed. Might as well listen to what the weird, strange voice in my head is telling me to do. I was gonna die other way.
You tell Sam you just like to walk around.
I'm feeling better today. I haven't walked in ages.
You say.
Just a little while.
Okay, Sam says uncertainly. But you should get back to bed very soon. Rot can sometimes seem like it's in remission, only to hit you hard later.
Hey, remember when he said that you get, like, hallucinations with rot?
Yeah. Yeah.
Maybe this it. I'm gonna be honest. This is probably it. I'm going along with the ride. If I'm high as fuck, I'll die high as fuck.
Alright, you're up.
I'm fine.
You assure him.
I just need some fresh air.
You walk past Sam and he doesn't stop you.
Good. Sam lacks true faith. but he shall be your first disciple when he sees your miracle.
This is just fun now.
Up these stairs. Go.
You bound up an old stone staircase that winds up the central tower of the cathedral. You emerge at the top of the cathedral's central bell tower with the capital lamppost shining in the night below you. You can hear the people on the street below surprisingly well. You suppose because there are no objects in the way, you imagine you can hear you as well.
Now cast the strongest glamour you can. You must spread my message far and wide.
I don't know about that, Chief. This might kill me before I can do anything else.
You will not die!
I'm gonna be honest, I don't trust the voice in my head. I can already tell. I feel like what's happening is that this is Abraxas, and he's just trying to get me to reset everything, basically. To glamour the entire... Because he sees I'm a powerful wizard that did the glamour before to the Magistrate Empire. So he's going to have me use my glamour on the entire people to just reset things right back to where they were.
What are the odds this is also just a hallucination?
Oh, it's entirely possible. So, but either way, I'm going insane. I should go back to bed. Sorry, voice in my head. Fun ride, but no.
This is insane, you tell yourself. This voice is not real.
Then you failed! Humanity will get what it deserves!
I don't know if that came through
No,
entirely.
it did. It was really funny. Fuck you!
You ignore the voice and meet Sam on the staircase. He looks relieved to see you. Back to bed? I'm glad. It's probably best if you... Suddenly the voice's oppressive presence lifts and you don't feel well at all. You empty your stomach on the stairs and begin to collapse. Sam catches you. Whoa, I have you, he says. Sorry, I should have tried harder to stop you. I knew you weren't meant to be out and about. Let me walk you back. Someone else can clean that up. As Sam walks you back, you begin to sniffle and wipe tears from your eyes. You aren't a chosen one, you realize. You're dying. I'm so sorry, Sam whispers. He gives you a hug. You awaken to your room to find Sam by your bedside again. It's light outside now. How are you feeling? Sam asks.
How blunt am I going to be? I'm on my deathbed. Sad.
Sam nods in sympathy. Well, I'd like to stay here, just in case.
Well, I'm going to tell him about the voice.
Desperate to find some kind of meaning in your experience, or at least an explanation, you tell him everything that happened and ask his opinion on it. Sam ponders for a moment. Well, he says slowly, I don't think it was Abraxas speaking to you. I've read much of the Book of Abraxas, and, well, it doesn't seem like something he would do. I think it's most likely you just experienced a delusion as a result of the rot.
But why this delusion? Do you think the saints' beliefs about Abraxas are shaped by similar delusions? Do you think there's no chance that the voice was real? Yeah, why this? What do they all?
Sam shakes his head. No, this is unusual. If I had to make a guess, it's because you have always wanted some kind of special destiny for yourself. Or so it seemed to me. Don't take this the wrong way, but many saints are humbler than you.
Wow, really?
Sam shrugs. Wait, what did you click?
I just clicked, do all the fucking saints experience the same thing, I think.
Sam shrugs. I suppose it's possible there have been some saints through history who communicated their strange experiences through rot as divine truths. But believe it or not, the church is fairly wary of accepting new truths as doctrine. The House of Flame partly exists to keep the church from succumbing to the latest fantasies and delusions. What may seem like inflexibility to you also keeps everything on the rails. The House of Sun tries harder to understand, but in the end, if a new attitude does not come from a place of love, we don't want it either.
Do you think there's really no chance the voice was real?
Sam thinks about this. I wouldn't say no chance of its being real, he says. There are many things in this world I don't understand. Fantastical things, magical things, mythical things that turn out to be true after all. But if it were true, well, what then? The voice you heard was nothing in common with my god of love. We may as well call it a demon for all it matters. Abraxas wouldn't show up and start demanding daring acts to prove your loyalty. Listening to Abraxas is subtle, and it is not about your destiny. It's about hearing the music.
Okay, bye.
You tell Sam you'll think about what he said. Good, Sam says. But all things considered, I hope you don't mind if I stay here. We can talk about other things. You nod. See you.
I think I'd like that.
Sam begins to chat about his pet dragon Thomas, how he cutely wrestled with a ball of yarn earlier, how he likes to bump noses with Sam, how he sometimes hops along the ground like a sparrow instead of flying. It's a nice distraction, and it cheers you up.
Neat.
Alone again in your bed, you ponder your experience with the voice. Feel angry, bereft, foolish. None of this matters. I'm going to die. I vanished my doubts. Somehow that voice was real.
I decided the time. I feel bereft.
You can clearly recall the feeling of hearing the overwhelming voice.
Like this!
Shut up! Get out of here!
Except in your brief moments of indecision, you are absolutely certain of the rightness of your actions, and now you don't know what to do with yourself. You'll never know what kind of certainty again. With your freedom comes a feeling of meaninglessness with every action. Even if you weren't sick, you could imagine staying in bed for days. Where does meaning come from? Whence purpose? You don't know anymore.
Wow. Good thing my caution solemnity is increasing while I'm on my deathbed.
Also, that just counteracted the optimism and stuff you got just like a moment
yeah.
ago.
Man, look at my divination. Yeah, it's yeah.
It's a lot. You gradually come back to consciousness, unsure of when you fell asleep. Noodle's head is taking up your entire field of vision. Hey! Hey, wake up! Tal says in a noodle-ish voice, slapping your face with his noodly arms. No loafing, the early monkey gets the banana! Tal is sitting by your bedside. She turns Noodle to her. Noodles, that's rude. Fishy has been through a lot. She makes the stuffed monkey look indignant somehow. So have I, she ventriloquizes. Noodles points to himself. Here I am, getting animated all the time, and I never get to say anything myself. Tal makes Noodles tap you emphatically on the nose. I am not your dancing monkey. Oh, but Noodles, we love it when you dance. Let's see you dance. Tal makes Noodles dance on your chest, doing a kind of line dance kick, but as she does this, a tear courses down her cheek.
Oh my god.
Are you depressed yet?
Yeah, I mean, I've accepted my fate. I'm just seeing where this train goes.
Have you at all reached the depths of Choice of Robots?
No.
Abruptly, Tal bursts into an anguished wail. She collapses in your arms and sobs uncontrollably, her whole body shivering.
I'm here.
You say softly.
I'm still here.
Hours later, you'll talk about the latest news from Ackerton, and you'll try to say a little about what has happened to you, but right now you don't say anything. You just stroke Tal's hair while she cries. When your parents visit, you can tell they're somewhat shaken. You're not certain how much the clerics have told them. They have worn their church best for their visit to the cathedral. After greeting you, they look at each other, unsure who should start. Your father does. Fishy, we just wanted to say, even though it looks like you've made some mistakes, everybody does. That's just life. And your dad's played this game before.
Fuck you.
Your mother just nods and wipes a tear away from each eye. We're proud of you no matter what, is all we wanted to say, your father says. Your mother nods emphatically. Yeah, you saved the capital. Your mother nods emphatically. Anyway, I have a funny antidote for you.
Do you mean... Oh.
No. Do you mean anecdote? Your mother suddenly yells. Antidote is what we wished we had!
Oh.
There's an uncomfortable silence for a moment.
I'm glad you came.
Your mother looks touched. She cradles your head in her arms. Oh, my baby, she says. My baby, my baby, my baby.
Oh.
Have you ever watched yourself slowly die with your loved ones around you before, Kai?
No, Parker, I'm going to be honest. No, that's never happened to me, and I'm shocked that you had to ask. Has that happened to you?
I played this game.
Yeah, but you turned into a specter and lived forever and just haunted people.
I didn't do that. I did that. That's what happens when you do the negation one. Mine was turning into a giant griffin, dragon, eagle thing.
Yes, so you still didn't.
Yeah, that's correct. The next day, your body is racked with pain off and on for hours. The cathedral clerics keep your visitors away as a saint at your bedside tries to save Vivimancy to use Vivimancy to reduce your pain. When the pain has died down, you are conscious of the saint at your bedside being dismissed. You look up to see Hierophant Elizabeth take the saint's place.
Hey, nice of you to
Been a while, she says. The Hierophant shrugs. Sam told me a little of what happened to you. I understand a voice came to you and told you to perform a kind of leap of faith. Yeah, I'm pretty sure, Kai, the voice was going to tell you to jump off the tower.
No, it was telling me to glamour.
I know, I'm pretty sure it was probably going to tell you to jump after that.
Maybe. Oh, like I was gonna ascend like he did.
Yeah, and then you just fall. You expect her to say more about your hypothesis, but she doesn't. What would you say?
I just said that it might have been a delusion.
So, what do you think, the Hierophant says? Do you still believe in a higher power? Did you ever?
Whether we call it Brax or something else, higher power is not a being of love. Could have been a twisted power. It would have been a twisted power indeed to put me through all this. Let's just go with something else.
The Hierophant nods in satisfaction. Good. The Hierophant takes a deep breath and lets it out slowly. Finally, she says, I have something to tell you. Your experience with the voice, I had it as well.
You did?
You say, surprised. Yes, the Hierophant says. Only I was surrounded by more credulous people than you. I convinced the people around me that Abraxas did speak to me. I worked miracles in his name, though in retrospect it was nothing more than ordinary magic, made more powerful by my recklessness. One of those people who believed I spoke to Abraxas was the previous Hierophant. I made him believe he was a charlatan, since he had never heard the voice of Abraxas himself. Believing I was a real prophet, he passed the Hierophant's mitre on to me. And here is something you do not know. Know of one cure for rot. It is the Hierophant's mitre. The magics that created it are now lost, but you are protected from rot for as long as it is in your possession, as long as it is freely given to you. You take a moment to digest this, wondering where it is going.
No, that can't be why.
Over time, I came to believe it was not Abraxas who spoke to me at all, the Hierophant says. I came to believe it was a delusion of the rot I had been afflicted with. My position was built on a misunderstanding, if not a lie. So I became cynical. I was steward of the House of Lies. I thought of it was a mere vehicle for keeping society from collapse. I thought I alone, in all the church, understood truly how alone we are. God, the Hierophant's a freaking atheist.
Jeez, that's ironic.
How we teeter on the brink of the abyss. But, in a weak moment, I cast a divination to learn whether there was any person in the world who had a similar experience to me, or who might yet have such an experience. And I received a vision of you and your friend Hunter Tal, crawling through a tunnel toward an ancient sunken academy.
That's why you sent that Inquisitor after us?
You say, astounded.
And that's why you offered me sainthood?
The Hierophant chuckles humorlessly. It was a gamble, she admits. I knew it may not work. There was very good chance we would not end up where we are, but I had nothing to lose, and we are here now. The Hierophant takes off her mitre, revealing a balding head of gray hair. If this passes into your hands, I will die, while you will be protected from rot so long as you are Hierophant, she says. You and I have the same dubious qualifications for the position. The difference is, you kept your faith in something. I think perhaps you understand faith better than I.
Can you just do this?
You ask.
Isn't there a vote?
That is only if I die unexpectedly, the Hierophant says. Otherwise, I choose my successor. You meet her eyes. She looks as old, tired, and cynical as ever. She looks ready to die. But there is also something in her gaze that pleads with you. The gnarled and varicose old hands holding the mitre tremble. How do you feel about the Hierophant's offer? Also, thank you.
Oh yeah, thanks to you, that series of digits.
H0SS00312 for following.
Honestly, take it. I'll do it.
Are you doing it to save your life?
Maybe a little bit. But honestly, like, hey, she thought the same way I did.
She's
Doesn't
got more
matter.
common with you than we
Doesn't
thought.
matter that you specifically believe in Abraxas, just that like you're trying to do right.
Yeah. You've underestimated the Hierophant. You never expected such a selfless act from her. You're not certain you're the best person to lead the church, but perhaps the Hierophant is right, and your crisis of faith has left you in a good position to do so. What is your response to the Hierophant's offer?
Sure, I'll be Pope.
Remember how you started saying, I don't want to be a saint?
I skipped sainthood. I kept true.
Technically, you were never a saint.
Hey, welcome to chapter.
Jesus Christ.
Another!
I cannot believe you found another chapter.
Yes. I'm ready, and thank you.
You slowly take the mitre from the Hierophant's hands. All at once, the decades of suppressed rot catch up to the old Hierophant, who disintegrates into a pile of gray dust.
Damn, she
You thi-
fucking got
you think
Thanos
you-
snapped.
You think you caught a glimpse of a smile before she went.
Go in peace.
You say to the dust.
I'm
You
at
found another chapter.
Parker. You see me. I'm on my deathbed. You've accepted the fact that I'm going to die. You leave. You look at the newspaper the next morning. Kai elected Pope.
What the fuck is happening?
Ah! Why is it... Okay. I was like, why is it to the side? I got 2 achievements for that.
Yeah, it's for surviving chapter 8. And, to be fair, I think I also got a chapter 9. Mine just wasn't called the Hierophant.
Alright,
church-
here we go.
The church is shocked at all levels to learn that someone they considered an outsider was chosen to be the next Hierophant. But when you relate the story of the Hierophant's own possible divine instructions and how she sought you out because you would have the same experience, then they begin to begrudgingly accept the Hierophant's choice as well, if perhaps not what they would have chose, because you still killed Saint Twimsby.
Had to.
What lesson do you try to impart to the church when you describe your own experience with a voice that may or may not have been Abraxas? What is your churchly message as the new pope?
Abraxas real? No, fuck Abraxas. He can go eat a dick. Faith is not about just obeying, but also believing in goodness. The value of the church teaching is not that they come from Abraxas, but that they're good. The church is ultimately a product of our own mind and can therefore be questioned. I'm probably gonna go with one of these two. They seem real.
So you either say, hey, we're good people, or this is all fleeting.
I'm just gonna go with good people.
The other one seems like a risk, I'm going to be honest. You use your experience to teach the church that Abraxas is not really the reason to value the church. The real reason is that the church is the guardian of principles that are good, regardless of what some entity named Abraxas thinks. There are many in the House of Flames who think you're a heretic who literally disobeyed direct commands from Abraxas. But now that you aren't dying of rot, you have time to work on them. The House of Silence, on the other hand, thinks your message is fine, but few there think that the real Abraxas spoke to you in the first place. Yes, you do have some work to do in stitching together a church that is unraveling before you arrived. With war off the table, Irenia and the Magisterian Empire began a more profitable relationship of trade. What in God's green earth could you have that they want?
I don't know, but I managed to convince them that they should leave.
The Magisterians have been producing magical baubles for quite some time, and those little wonders, ranging from automatic lights to divination mirrors for personal communication, begin
Cell phones.
trickling into the kingdom.
Cell phones.
Yeah, cell phones. For its own part, the kingdom's saints are more adept at healing than any vivomancers in the Empire. Charging less means having much more experience. And Magisterians often come to visit the kingdom for medical reasons. So then the church still knew they still know some kind of magic that no one else does.
We never figured out what that whole heaven and hell thing in the basement was either.
That's true. Well, I imagine it's like, if I had to guess, it's heaven is the room where you become anointed a saint, hell is where you're executed.
Probably.
There are some Iranians who can never forget the blood the Magisterians shed, and there are no doubt some Magisterians who feel the same.
What do you mean?
Blood?
We killed like 2 Magisterians. The guy on the ship that got shot by an arrow, and one of the fucking double of me. I'm sorry that 2 people died in the war. Go fuck yourself.
But it seems there are more people in each land who are simply pragmatic. There was a third guy who died, but he just fell off one of the ships as an accident during the
Oh,
war.
I'm sorry. We did actually electrocute the entire boatload of scouts. I still don't give a shit because they
That's
nuked
like
my
six
house.
more. Yeah, that's like 6 more people.
They nuked my house. I don't care.
There's one. You guys are a city state. Like they had to have killed millions of people.
Fucking Christ. They can go. They can fuck off. Everyone says, but you killed people too. We killed enough people to count on my hands.
But it seems there are some people in each land who are simply pragmatic. Their will to fight gone when their rules do not feed it. The two peoples adapt and move on, and it's encouraging to see. The Magistanians are still like a fascist republic,
Oh
though,
yeah,
aren't
we
they?
didn't. I'm just gonna hope that that glamour never wears off.
You settle into a Hey, Kai, if you have the mitre, you can do that glamour as much as you want.
That's true. It's gonna be one very
sound-
quick death when I choose to die, though.
It's gonna be like Elizabeth. You're gonna disintegrate. You just never take the hat off. You settle into a married life with Tao. What do you and Tao decide about having children?
We both prefer going on adventures together. We decide to have little one and give the child noodles. We decide to adopt a little one. We adopt an orphan who reminds us of a teenage Tao.
So you can adopt a teenager, adopt a child, or have no one.
That's just sound good. Why not?
You both decided it would be cute to have a little child who could enjoy noodles and whom you could one day take on adventures. When Tao eventually gives birth to a baby girl, one of the first things you do is animate Noodles to keep her company. As Noodles gently pats your little girl on the head, you realize this is literally what he was made for. What's your child's
Oh
name?
boy, what's Little Fishy Jr. gonna be called?
Guppy.
Oh my, oh, there you go, Guppy. Yeah, there you go. That's a kid's name.
I was gonna go with Guppy or Tadpole. By the way, thank you for getting all these Steve achievements for me. Being the child of a shapeshifter, Guppy will one day be a shapeshifter herself, but you're okay with that. Life with Tao has always been an adventure full of surprises. You expect nothing less from Guppy. You think Guppy will one day grow up to be just as brave, loyal, funny, and witty as Tao. You don't need a divination for that. And they will one day grow up to ask why you never take that silly-looking hat off.
I can't take this shit off. Oh man, it's really man, what would it be like? You know, obviously, growing up with rich parents is crazy. What's it like growing up with your with your dad being the Pope, who single-handedly ended the war
Is
with
the
like?
Pope... In real life, is the Catholic Pope allowed to have kids?
I'm going to Google that.
I don't think
Can
he
the
is.
Pope have kids? A number of them had offsprings.
Oh, okay.
The second made a promise to remain celibate, abolishing the marriage, priesthood, and the land.
It sounds very, very complicated.
Popes do not marry, though, so it seems like eventually they stopped. All right. Anyways,
Queen Thecla eventually marries Kos, a
Good for
carefully
Kos.
reasoned
hey,
choice based on Kos's... what? What's up?
turns out I was right. I was the wingman.
A carefully reasoned choice based on Kos's skillful leadership and management abilities. Kos proves to be very good for the queen, as he gets her to pull her head up from the accounting and figures and notice the world around her. Queen Thecla, in turn, provides Kos his biggest stage yet on which to work his administrative skill. He invents a board game about the management of the kingdom and enjoys playing it against Thecla. Hey, that's the vision you saw.
Yeah, man, he invented Monopoly.
Yeah, you know, that's fair. It's usually an even match. Having moved to the capital to be close to the queen, Kos regrettably can no longer serve as mayor of Akraton. Instead, he pursues his passion for technology by teaching himself automation magic and building prototype airships that are sleeker and faster than anything ever created before. He seems happy. I bet you anything you can get Kos as a student somehow
Probably.
in this game.
So far, the only ones I know about are the fortune teller, obviously Sam, and Vera.
Vera.
And I
Poor
feel
Vera.
like if you do the correct path, you might be able to teach the queen magic. It feels like that's not
Yes,
fair.
you can. You can get the queen. You can get the queen to be a student. I was gonna save that. I was gonna save you telling my stuff at the end. I got the queen to be my student.
Yeah, I assume so. I don't know who the fifth student of a different school of magic would be, though.
Mm-hmm. Queen Thekla gradually becomes a powerful sorceress in her own right, learning negation magic and divination magic in particular. That's quite the mix.
Yes. I know who my enemies are, and I can kill them.
After the first time she obliterates an assassin with a negation spell, the intrigue of court dies down dramatically.
Man, when you send an assassin, like, I don't know if I can do this assassination, guys.
Your dragon, Stormageddon, and Sam's dragon, Thomas, appear to have taken a more than a friendly liking to each other, and they are often seen playing together or cuddling in the palace gardens. You suspect they'll remain together for life, as dragons do. And you and Sam have to go to the same family Thanksgivings now. Queen Thekla dismisses Sam from his position of blessed advisor, saying she has no need for the position anymore, will no longer listen to the advice of the church.
Oh.
Sam learns Vivomancy magic and becomes a saint, traveling from town to town, healing and dispensing advice. Your golem continues to be your faithful servant, helping you in every magical endeavor with an agreeable Certer Dominix.
Good for you, Jeff! You goddamn king! He saved me!
It's been so funny if you got him to punch the dude in the face before you even knew he was an assassin, though. It would have been so funny. The people aren't certain that you made the right decision in spurning factories and airships, but they like you and are willing to give you the benefit of the doubt, probably because you have unlimited glamour now. They wait and hold out hope that your magic will make the kingdom happy in other ways.
1%!
Oh my
1%!
God.
Yeah!
Oh my God.
Ba-da!
They technically love me!
Technically, 1% love me!
Can I say you only have a 52 relationship with the church and you are the Hierophant?
Yep. I'm the best pope in the world. Go
God.
me.
You're in the Hierophant's office in the cathedral, preparing a speech at your desk for the new graduating class of Inquisitors.
Your next training will be at the university, where you will learn magic. You write. You're right.
You're right.
You will need all the tools you can get, because you will no longer hunt wizards but evil. And that takes many guises.
The room turns cold. You look behind you and there's a specter. The specter is made of roiling black fire, and two deep orbs shine as eyes.
I am Abraxas.
I think Abraxas doesn't like me saying go fuck yourself. I did tell him to eat a dick.
You did that several times, I think.
Uh-huh.
The rasping voice is cool and collected. It has an accent that is difficult to place, perhaps that of one who has lived 2,000 years.
You are wrong if you think I am merely a figment of your imagination. Look, I am real.
I see.
You say, wondering what the old shade wants from you.
Cleanse the sky. Perish if you must. This is a far greater task than anything else you could do on Earth.
Sensing your hesitation, it adds,
It is the machines of the world that are the greatest threat to its spirit. You might end the reign of terror over the human heart.
Okay, so my options are... Do I just cast automation spell to clear skies? Is that your only form, or are you larger? Do you want me to die? You are no longer needed here to Abraxas sleep. Your time is ended. Channel negation to rent. Okay, this isn't gonna work. Let's just not look at that. We're considering these 4 options up here.
mm-hmm. You know remember what I said when I went to check out what the full negation mage is? You turn into I told you before, you turn into the Spectre and duke it out with Abraxas in like the Shade world and just rip him to pieces.
I'm gonna be honest. I think he's gonna kill me. I don't think I should go with this. If I just straight up say no. Do you want me to die?
It said, cleanse the sky, perish if you must. So apparently Abraxas is saying that the automation storm is the biggest threat to humanity.
Yes, that's this. Do you want me to die? Do you want me to die?
Not particularly.
Is that your only form, or are you larger?
God.
This is my only form,
Abraxas says.
but my divinations are powerful enough to reach anyone. It is as close to omniscience as anyone has ever been.
Alright, clear the skies and probably die. I don't know what would kill me though.
Just the storm, I guess. I don't know.
I suppose I might just get struck by lightning and smite in my fucking study.
You made it all the way through all the rot stuff, only to die to lightning.
I'm gonna be honest, I don't really care at this point.
So basically, you can try to clear it with the threat that you might die doing it, or you can leave it and hope that Abraxas is wrong in saying that it'll end humanity. I mean, you got some pretty beefy automation. When did your glamour get so good?
When I spent all that time studying glamour and divination to cast a spell.
That's a good point.
But I mean, I think I have a decent chance of succeeding at the spell.
I think so.
Sure, I'll take a tip from you, Abraxas. Why not? Let's see how this goes.
There we go. Apparently, Abraxas is giving you a second chance to prove yourself. I still don't think he was the first one.
I don't think he was.
Still
either.
think. You go outside to a balcony of one of the cathedral towers, raise a hand towards the cloudy sky, and let a powerful bolt of lightning strike you. You begin to crackle all over electricity, humming with more automation power than you've ever controlled before. And you try to shape it back to the power and part the heavens. But nothing happens, except your hearts begin to beat faster and faster as electricity courses through you.
To demand proof is not faith. Let this be your lesson.
There is a final surge of electricity, and you die.
I should have just told him to fuck off again, I guess.
A tragic end, proof of Abraxas.
I'm curious what would happen if I did, but no, I can't really check.
Your divination ends. Yes, you'll probably decide not to do that.
Divination magic! Go fuck yourself, Abraxas! Oh, look at this! I can do this on my own time. This is really funny. I think this actually happens if you have, like, almost maxed out divination, right?
Yeah.
Oh, that's really funny. That's hilarious.
Reverse Uno card. Yeah, pretty much.
I probably don't need to do this on stream, because this is just replaying these sections.
Now do it.
Do it?
Go back to the beginning of the climax.
And cheat.
Wait, you want to cheat?
Why not?
Play the real thing out.
What?
Play your real story out.
What?
You can go back and cheat if you want.
Okay, I go back to the beginning of the climax, which is, you know, when the war was starting, which was
No.
ages.
No. No, you go back to the beginning of the last chapter.
So you
Go
mean
back-
a chapter 8 or 9?
9.
Okay. 7. See? I told you. That's what it means by the climax.
Alright, hold on. Let's just... Do you want to just do the same things up until the point of Abraxas telling you to do the lightning thing?
You know what? Yeah, let's find out. That's the
That'll
last
be the
decision.
thing-
That's the
that'll be the
last
thing we
decision
change.
in the game.
That'll be the thing we change.
That's the last decision in the game. Oh my god.
Alright.
What? Yeah,
Wait,
what happened here?
You
What?
quickly try to summon enough energy from the dark side of the shield, but it proves to be not. Kevy, your golem says, holding up a hand. Did it bug and you didn't have your shield? It might have bugged.
Oh, because
black-
yeah, you know what? It bugged.
Because, yeah, you don't have the shield you bought for some reason. This is not at all what was happening.
I think that one point of divination changed things, Parker. Me not using that divination to find out if Merkos was the right person.
Did it really? Jesus.
This is, at this point, it's not even worth it, is it? We lost the war. Now I can't get to that ending.
So, Kai,
Ah,
what'd you think? What'd you think of Choice of Magics?
pretty good. It, above anything, it made me realize, not good at being in a position of power.
Did, how do you feel about this one compared to Choice of Robots, since you played 2 of them now?
This one felt like it had definitely more choices, at least.
Mm-hmm.
Even if it technically didn't, it still felt like I had more options. Choice of Robots was like a few paths.
I agree. I think Choice of Robots had better writing, but this one is more of a game.
Yeah. I still find it hilarious, the ending of just like, you end your divination. You didn't do that.
God, did us not divining costs really do that? Wow,
I
it really
think
messed that up.
so, honestly.
That's this thing has more diverging paths than I thought. So I wanted to also share with you how mine went, because I told you that I ended up actually going Vivimancy, which I also didn't expect I would do, but I kept using it. Ended up going Vivimancy, and I avoided death not by getting the miter, but because, by the way, I did use a lot of glamour, so I did end up in the deathbed from rot anyways, even though I didn't do the same thing you did, because I did win the war, because I had an army of dragon riders, because I was very good at Vivimancy.
And you just
And I just
the
blitzed
kingdom.
and I blitzed the capital, and they were unprepared for an army of dragon riders.
I would be too.
So we had complete and total victory, and it was awesome. And also, Tal is now a dragon rider at the end of mine.
That's awesome.
I also married Tal on my original playthrough. And what happened after that was I went to the deathbed because I used glamour enough to get rot normally, not with the giant miracle glamour. But I avoided the miter because I just made myself into a giant mythical beast. So that was cool. After that, mine pretty much just ended after that. On my original playthrough, I didn't get a vision from Abraxas or anything like that. I didn't get like his ghost visiting me or anything.
Yeah.
And it pretty much just ended there. And then and then I played a second time to see what happens if you go full evil negation.
It's really
And
unfortunate. I'm really...
everyone is dead.
Oh wow. Okay.
Everyone. I mean literally everyone. The world explodes because you use the Earth's core too much to
Did you
power your
live?
negation. Yeah, I turned into a negation ghost.
Neat. I'm just the only thing. Truly, at this point, the only thing I'm curious about is what would happen if I just said, "Go away, go away, Abraxas."
Man. That divination making you giving you the Uno reverse card is fucking hilarious, though.
It's so good.
Which one do you like better? Like, which one would you say was your favorite one between the two books that you read?
I think it's the same thing as you said. As a game, this one was better, but as a story, the other one.
Mm-hmm.
So it's, I don't know, hard to say.
It's hard to say. You know, we're probably not going to do it for Park and Kai Place, or maybe we will. But we also have the third Kevin Gold book, which is The Choice of Alexandria, and I've never read that one.
I was saying that at some point, probably after like another couple non-choice of, we should just do that where we're both playing and we just like take turns. We
just exist in one person's mind.
That's what I'm thinking. Like we have to agree on the decision, but we both like take turns like being like the person, or at the very least we both have to just agree on what option we want to go with. We're two souls in this poor man's body.
I would be down for that. That'd be funny. All right, Kai, what am I doing next time we decide to do this series? I think we got a minute till we have to do this again, but
yeah, it's gonna be a while. It's gonna be a good while, but
hey,
honestly,
for you guys on YouTube, it'll be like a week.
Yeah, I mean, I have options. Is the thing. I'm not sure which one I want you to do next because there's a few I haven't really like. My list is starting to whittle a little bit at the very least.
I've played Hollow Knight, by the way, so take that off.
Oh, okay. But if it's anything, it's either Cave Story or Tales from the Borderlands, and we would just do the first like chapter because truly, this is the only Tales of game that I really enjoyed. It was a lot of fun.
I've heard it was very good. All right.